It's said that as much as 12% of the CEOs are psychopaths of some degree. Psychopaths are people who are said to be cold in nature. They can calculate and see things and plan forward without having to empathize for someone else, and this trait makes them excel at what they do. The general concept of a psychopath is that somehow they are connected to some crime, but not all of them are criminals. Some have a different sense of how one defines a crime. The other thing that really makes me shine is how I know what I am, and how I act to be normal around people, and how I act that I care, while I could not care less. Oh yes, I'm one of them, and I have a hobby. Weird in the eyes of most, but to me it doesn't make much of a difference. I really consider it to be the art of seeing. The emotional aspect of art doesn't bother me much, but what little I understand of it makes me realize that there is something deeper to see in every person. You might ask what I see. I have a penchant for observing homes from a distance. There are so many things one can tell from small observations that you might be surprised. There's this particular home that I've been observing for a couple of days. The routine is very simple. I go out at night and I observe the home from the bushes which surround it. And the place is a quiet one, and there is nothing but these trees that surround it. And if I choose to observe a home which is in a busy place, I do it in disguise. I act to be in the neighborhood watch, or be the guard, or just sit in a car in front of a place. There is so much that could be told from the noises that come from a home. Sometimes I've seen that families act to be normal from the outside, while when they enter their homes they drop their mask, and husbands will become a stranger to the wife, a mother will become too busy for their kids, and a father will lose it every time someone comes into his space. There are families who constantly fight, and then there are families who barely talk. None of them make it long. One would be surprised to know where a common family hides their keys. More often than not, someone always tries to hide the keys outside the door, so someone else can open them if they need to. When they leave the home, I go out and find the keys and enter their homes. My observations have taught me exactly how each member of the family acts. I go to their rooms and I act like them in front of the mirror. Sometimes I wear their clothes and put makeup on my face. I sit in the places they sit. I lie in the beds they lie. I eat the food they eat. Well, many might think that there is no particular reason why I do this. Many might even go as far as thinking that I do this because of my condition. But there is a very particular reason I choose this form of art. My condition makes me immune to form any connections with anyone. The only connection I can make is when I act to be just like them. It's the only time I don't feel lonely. There are some families who have such a harsh routine that they don't find themselves in a part of a house for a particular number of hours of the day, and I enter the home silently and go to that place in the house. The wife spends her time on the phone, and the kid plays. I enter and do what I do best, that is, to act. This gives me a greater pleasure as compared to anything else, mostly because that's the closest to what I can get when it comes in terms of acting. One other thing that I do is dress as someone in the community and appear in front of other people, and they often mistake me for that guy. I carry the conversation just like that guy would. There would be no emotional relevance, but I would know that I'm getting better, and the world would never find out what I really am. I guess that is the art of hiding in plain sight. I like what I do. I like this routine. One might never know whose home I might find interesting next. But one thing is for sure. If I do find it interesting, that home becomes as much mine as it is his.